My name is Dwayne, and I'm from Prince George's County, Maryland.
And I'm Danita.
And we're here seeking $300,000 for 10% of our company, Everything
Wow.
Legendary.
Oh, that's a legendary valuation there.
We all know the benefits of a vegan lifestyle, like lowering your blood pressure or lowering your risk of heart disease.
But the problem with a plant-based diet is sometimes you just want to sink your teeth into a burger that actually tastes like a burger.
But most plant-based burgers are created by scientists in the lab, like this geek. Wait a minute.
Geek, come on, man. We
Urkel. He's going for an Urkel look.
I guess that's about right.
I'm no scientist. I'm Chef Jamoke Jackson, the head chef behind Everything Legendary, with a plant-based burger that's made in a real kitchen by a real chef, me. Everything Legendary is the wagyu of the plant-based meats. It's the caviar. It's the Kobe beef. It is the best. At Everything Legendary, we use the highest quality hemp protein and a proprietary spice blend that focuses on taste, texture, and appearance. It is juicy, it is flavorful, and most importantly, it is healthy. So, Sharks, who's ready to join this team? Who's ready to become legendary?
I love this guy, by the way. I think he's great. He's got a lot of energy there.
Well, I like that he's got the chef who's going to be the expert, but then he's got the promoter on the side who's like getting the excitement up.
Yeah, he's got his Flavor Flav. He's the Flavor
Yeah.
Flav of the team. That's awesome. I love it.
Who's ready to become legendary? Sharks, what we've prepared for you is our premium legendary burger along with our gourmet legendary sauce. Enjoy. Dwayne, I couldn't hear a word you said. That's good.
That's good to hear, man.
Thank you so much. I hope everyone's enjoying it.
Where's my burger?
Yeah, right. I know that's one thing I haven't perfected yet. The E-Division technology is still in the works. We're getting there. Seriously, we are getting there. Stay tuned. Get subscribed so you don't miss it.
Smoky flavor,
Very
real
burger-esque.
flavor.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Really good.
It tastes just like a burger, but the texture is much softer.
We have infused the best vegan cheese in the world inside of our burgers.
Oh, that's
what it
cheese.
is. The cheese
Okay.
inside of the
Ah.
And you told
But
me
wait, is cheese vegan? I thought cheese wasn't vegan.
Yeah, what kind of cheese is this?
Maybe it's a lab cheese? I don't know.
the
Let's find
nutritional
out.
profiles.
Okay, so it's a slim and trim 250 calories.
Oh.
How many ounces is this?
250 calories
Wow.
How many ounces
Wow.
is this patty? This is an oversized patty.
only. Those are 6 ounces that you have. The fat content is only 15 grams.
Do you sell this frozen?
It does come frozen. We ship it. This is a mail-in service that we had to do. In the midst of COVID, we had to pivot our business model. So we wanted to bring it from our kitchen right to your kitchen. We have our 4-pack and we have our 8-pack. So let's talk about our cost of goods. It costs us $20 for our 4-pack and we sell that for $45. Then we have our 8-pack that costs us $40 to make and we sell that for $75. So our average profit margin online is 53% right now.
Okay. Can I?
That seems a little slim there. Would you not agree?
Repeat that for me. I missed that.
Okay, so their average profit percentage is 53% on online orders. So they're making I think it was an 8-patty box for $40, and they're selling it for $75. And I guess it was I missed the beginning. There was 4 patties selling for $45.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. We have to hear the volume, right? If they're a new company and it's small, you hope that they're going to increase their margins a lot as they scale. But where are they right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, they obviously they got sales that they're asking for a $3 million valuation, right? So they got something going on. I guess the question to me is 53% can be enough if you're not planning on putting it into retail, which I would guess that they are, but also if 53% could be enough if you're spending it correctly, and reinvesting it correctly, you could make that work. But I still feel like it should be closer to 60%, maybe 65%.
Back up a little bit. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your story, how you guys got together and then came up with this idea?
Dwayne's mom has lupus, and unfortunately, my mom passed away from cancer. And we tried to get her on a healthy diet. My mom just didn't like it. I called up Danita. I called up Chef Jackson. I said, guys, let's come together. Let's do something great. And we came up with Everything Legendary. Her mom was one of our biggest supporters. This is one of her favorite shows. That's how I know Honey's looking down on us right now. She told us we were going to be on Shark Tank. That's the crazy part. She was in the hospital.
Ding,
she was watching
ding.
Shark Tank, and she was like,
She nailed it.
you need to get yourself together because y'all going to Shark Tank.
This burger is priced 30% more than the big competitors. But do you get any pushback on that?
The reason why the price is higher is because this is the Wagyu. This is the Kobe beef.
It sounds like you're right. It's a very premium top
It's
price.
a premium plant-based product. There's Wagyu, there's Kobe beef. That's what we stand by. I can't race them to the bottom. One of the largest vegan restaurants.
I think that's awesome. I think it's great that they have found their, how they want to go to market with this and understand that they are going to be the top. Like, they're not waiting around for somebody else to develop that. They're going to do that, because being in Burger King is great, but that's a race to the bottom. That's a race to the dollar burger, right?
Yeah, and that's hard, right, at the start when you're trying to carve out what's your market positioning to own that.
And to be able to afford to fund that race, right? That race to the top, because that can generally be very expensive, because you have to do a lot of educating of the customer base of like, hey, I know you could go get that Impossible Burger, but if you want to get a legendary burger, this is what you really want, that top end burger.
Based down in Atlanta, they tried to buy us early on, but they weren't any sharks. I don't want to make deals with stingrays. We came here to do business with the great whites.
We want a shark.
Break down the numbers for me.
We've been doing this since June 2019. We had $165,000 worth of sales. We lost a couple months, obviously, because of COVID. $53,000 of that was profit.
In a COVID world, as we found all.
So, I mean, that's pretty good. Now I wonder how they've reinvested that again. Going back to what are they doing to make sure that they're reinvesting properly into the business to keep it growing?
Our company's doing.
Yes.
What you care about is customer acquisition.
Yes.
Do you have any data on that?
Yeah, so to this day, we have spent no money on customer acquisition. This has all been word of mouth. This has been
That's
bootstrap.
awesome.
This has been
You haven't
social.
bought a single digital ad?
No, we have not.
And what did you do last month in sales?
Last month, we did $15,500 in sales. We had 100% growth from our first month when we started.
What you're asking for is $300,000 for 10%. You're saying basically it's worth $3 million. Why do you feel it's worth that value?
So 4% of the country right now are vegans. However, 8% of black people are vegans.
What does the African American part play in it? Or is it just like we're making it for a certain community because we want to reduce diabetes and hypertension and stuff like that? Is that what you're saying you're positioning it at?
Yeah, I can say that that's where we started. I mean, like, that's who we are.
Yeah.
But it is.
Well, obviously, I mean, they designed it for who's one of their mothers to try to eat better, right, and get their health in order. So
Yeah, and it's a great story.
Yeah, it is a great story. I think that there's a lot to be said for that. I think there's a lot more to be said for that than, say, like you go to Burger King, you get the plant-based burger, right? But it's still almost the same amount of calories as the normal burger. It's like, I don't know, 50 or 100 calories less or something like that. It's not like some tremendous savings, on the calorie side, and it's not a tremendous savings on the healthy side necessarily either. I guess it also depends on how many of these things you're eating. Like most things in life, it depends on how much you're eating of it to get the benefit.
Well, it's a very attractive total addressable market story here because they want to target African American community. I think if you look at the data in the United States, it's like minorities have different health issues. There's a need, and they say 4% of blacks are vegan. So if they've got a great product and they can introduce that, sounds good.
Yeah, as long as the dollar value or the price per patty isn't so far out of the market. Like, I would love to buy this, but that's a very expensive product for me to buy. You know what I mean? It might be a mismatch.
Yeah, and aside from the total addressable market, like there's an opportunity there, but there's going to be education required. Like as a company, they have to educate this community. Why should you have a vegan diet, right? It's not just selling them on we've got the best product. They also have to sell them on you need to change your diet.
Well, that too, right? So you have that up against that. And now I would love to see a demographic of the African American community income versus the African American community income of vegans, right? Maybe they know something that we're not privy to at the moment. Of the African American vegans are making a ridiculous amount of money, like a ridiculous more amount of money. But this also could just be the jumping point to get them down, to potentially produce a cheaper product that gets into the rest of the African American community who isn't necessarily vegan, but wants a great burger that doesn't come with the health, the health cost.
Well, I'm liking what I'm hearing so far because the promoter guy, he's backing it up with numbers. He's more than just the mouthpiece. He's got data too.
Ding, ding, ding.
Boring to people from all different
Your
nationalities.
pricing is premium.
Yes.
And plant-based products are not just for vegans. So guys, I'm not wrong when I say yours is $10 and the competitors are $3. There's a big difference there.
Yes.
Your price difference is a huge challenge, honestly. I
Yeah.
think I have a lot of work to do. So for that reason, I'm going to go out.
See, I love to I hate to say I nailed it, but that's part of the problem is when you're trying to when you're not necessarily matching up the product and the value of that product with the demographic that you're trying to sell it to, the avatar for your business.
Okay.
Can I ask how much money you have invested in the company?
So we started off with $17,000. We came out our own personal savings. Since then,
Ding,
we
ding.
took out a credit card for $30,000. So total $47,000.
Oh, damn. Have you ever
Wow.
been in retail?
Yes, we started off doing our pop-up, so that accounted for 80% of our sales.
80.
Yes.
Wow.
So then the rest is follow-throughs because after they tasted it at the pop-up, they
Then we
found
did
you.
retail, so 2.5% was retail, 2.5% was grocery, and then the other 15% now was online, and everything shifted to be online.
You were selling.
Let's just give him a clap there. I mean, to be able to memorize and read those numbers off of your mind, right? Like there was a guy in a few episodes back. You should totally go and I forget which pitch it was. He literally pulled out a piece of paper with all of his numbers because he knew that he wouldn't be able to remember it. This guy is on point because not only did he think enough to have those numbers available, he memorized those numbers. He probably studied them in his sleep, probably listening back on his iPhone to him talking about those numbers. So he would know, he'd be prepared. How awesome is that? That's what you got to do. Now,
And
hopefully he gets to do
80%,
it.
80% in the pop-up. So you got to hear that number and say, all right, there are people out there willing to pay the $10.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it depends on where those pop-ups are, right? Are they like at food truck events where everything's kind of pricey to begin with? So it just depends on where those pop-ups are. But I will say that does mean that they gotta pound the pavement hard like yesterday to make sure that they're getting themselves in front of as many people as they can to get that internet traffic going. But again, they've done all that with zero ad spend. So ding ding to them for not, basically not wasting, but spending more money than they should on those internet ad sales.
In grocery in the frozen section?
Yes, we were. We were selling 16 cases a week.
Wow.
So 16 cases
Wow.
a week is how much
Okay.
money? So that accumulated for $30,000 in our sales.
So what was the price that you were selling to them, the 4-pack?
We were selling it to them for 10, and they were selling it for 17.
And your cost was $10?
Yes.
So you were making no money.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we were getting killed.
It was
That's
such a
all we
great
had to
story
say.
until that part.
The product's great, okay?
Well, sometimes you got to create that initial, spark, right? So it's a bet on yourself. It's a bet on your product. It's a bet as creating a loss leader out of the gate and hoping that people are going to take the bait. So it's the same as saying, oh, we made all this money on the product, but we spent $30 to acquire each customer, and it's like, oh, well, that's way too much for a $10 burger. That's it. You hope that you could keep, get the recurring, but just because they buy doesn't mean they're going to necessarily come back and buy again or buy each week at the grocery store or buy each week online. So, I don't think it's something to worry about too much. I think that they still got to figure out how they're going to get to that $3 million valuation. What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, I think that they better have in mind, how many packs do they need to sell more so that they can cut their production cost in half? Because then you kind of know you have a loss leader, but once you hit a certain point of sales, you can save, you can reduce your cost of production, and then it will become profitable.
Yeah. I mean, right now they're at like $5 a patty to make it, so they definitely gotta scale up.
This is the best burger I've ever had.
Thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
Here's the problem I got with it. For me to play with you, just to get in the game, I got to put up $300,000. This is a crazy valuation for where you are right now. I wish you had some idea of customer acquisition cost, but I don't know that here, all right? I think the mistake for me, you asked for $300K. I'm out.
You know what? The more I think about this, Andy, I think if they came in and was like, look, we want to be in the shulas, right? We want to be the high-end burger at those high-end restaurants, or you go to, Red Robin and they have the glass case burger or something, and it's plant-based and it's high-end and it's all that. Like, I think actually could get people more excited, just because they know that they're targeting a higher-end clientele with their higher-end burger. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, that sounds right. And can they leverage those partnerships to get more visibility and build the brand? And then do customers start buying everything legendary to bring it at home too?
Yeah, and everything legendary could also mean everything legendary pork chops and everything legendary steak and everything legendary, you fill in the blank.
Yep.
So, guys, have you done anything with local delivery? Because to me, if this was in Dallas and I pull up Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever, I would buy this all day, every day.
In the beginning, we were delivering it fresh to the customers. But now,
because if you could train other chefs, you would be just killing it out of cloud kitchens. So look, guys, I'll make you an offer. But here's the things I want to test.
All right, here we go.
I get why you pivoted, right? You guys have had to chase the money to stay alive. That's just reality in real world, right? Because frozen's so expensive, you can continue to do that, but that's going to be really hard to scale.
Yes.
But I think short-term path to money is local kitchens, working with DoorDash and Uber Eats. I think people are going to love these.
It's exactly what Mr. Beast did on YouTube, right? With his Mr. Beast burger. Like, he got a bunch of kitchens across the country, and you could just order either from their app or from Uber Eats or whatever. And I think that's an excellent opportunity with little, like, smaller upfront cost on their part to like really scale that up, rather than trying to go to each and every, be a pop-up everywhere, right? Because that's expensive. There's man hours, and there's the resources and the cooking and all that.
Yeah, it's interesting because you didn't have that like infrastructure where you could use like apps and different deliveries where you're not fronting the cost. So I like what Mark Cuban's doing here. He's trying to collect a restaurant pricing model versus wholesale.
Yeah, and I think that's where they really need to be.
Give you the $300,000, but because there's so much work, I want 25%. But I'm worth it.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think?
Ding ding. Like, I hope that they take this, but before we find out they take it, Andy, tell the people who you are and what you do.
I'm Andy Wong. I'm a financial advisor. I host a podcast called Inspired Money, so people can find me at inspiredmoney.fm. I also do something called Buy Local NJ, where we feature local business owners in New Jersey, because we all have to support our local businesses. Otherwise, our main streets are going to be vacant buildings, and that's a bad thing.
Absolutely. And I'm Super Joe Pardo, which you can, if you want to learn how to grow your business's profit, to get it up from 53% to 60 to 65%, then you can work with me. Go over to superjoepardo.com to learn more and get a free PDF download on rocketing your profit.
Thank you for the offer. Is it okay if we hear everyone else?
What do you think?
No. The answer is no. Not when Mark asks, offers you that. I think 25% is still a little bit rich, don't you?
Yeah, who's left too? It's Lori, and Lori's more like retail.
Yeah. Did Damon say he was out? I don't think Damon said.
No,
he was
you're
out
right.
Yet.
Damon's still in. Still in.
300,000. Can we bring that to
20?
20%?
20. Come on.
Do 22. We got a deal.
Done.
Deal.
Done.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. Oh, it's so funny. It's like.
Thank you so much.
Congrats, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Believe in your dreams. They're going to tell you no 1,000,001 times. Keep going. We done been broke. I done had a house repossessed. I done had a car repossessed on the way to going to church before. Believe in your dreams.
Wow.
I love those guys.
I love them. So let's check out their website and see what's up with that. Looking pretty good there. We've seen some disaster websites for sure, but it looks like they got themselves a pretty good looking website, which is not surprising because of the fact that they got with Mark. So I'm guessing they probably got a website lift prior to that. Oh, here you go. Oh, we can get an 8-pack for $63.71 plus free shipping. That's insane. That is absolutely insane, because the shipping on frozen products is expensive. It is expensive, but that is great. I'm looking forward to getting us some legendary burgers and trying it out here on the channel. So definitely make sure you get subscribed so you don't miss out on that. Andy, what's your final thoughts here?
I'm hungry. I love the story. I mean, I think so much of this is like, who are the business owners? What is their motivation? And they nailed it on the story. I mean, this is like a personal thing to them, and they came up with this product that they want to bring to the world. It's a good story. I like it.
It is. Hats off to them, and they didn't get their $3 million valuation that they were looking for, but they also didn't really warrant it just yet, to that level. So I think they got a pretty fair deal from Mark, and hopefully they'll be doing big things. Looking forward to seeing the future. Looking forward to trying it out.
I feel like it's not easy, right? It's one more thing. It's not easy because it is a competitive like food, and there are much bigger players. You've got Impossible Burger, you've got Beyond Meat, and they're well funded. But on the other hand, you're swimming in a pool that is growing. Plant-based food is in demand, and it's growing rapidly. So you've got that going for you. And I'm sure that was part of Mark Cuban's rationale, too. He knows that it's an attractive area.
Well, yeah, just like how he invests so much in sensors. He knew that, like 10 years ago, he's like, everything's sensors. I want to get, anybody that's got a different type of sensor, I want in on that. I want, a piece of the patent. I want, a piece of that business. So,
go where the tide is rising.
Yep, exactly. So, thank you so much for being here, Andy. If you've enjoyed this video of Biz Coach Reacts, please smash that like button so more super entrepreneurs like yourself can get this great information into their hands. Get subscribed so you don't miss another Biz Coach Reacts video. I'm Super Joe Pardo. Get at me at Super Joe Pardo. I will see you in the next video. Take care.